bringing you the latest news from Liberty Athletics. This is the Patriot Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back into the Patriot Fan Zone on Wednesday night. We're going to switch things up a little bit here. We're going to talk Liberty golf with first-year Liberty coach Cord Wilbourn, but not first-year player Reed Blacklock,
right? Because
he's not wearing one, but coach has worn one. Former coach Joe Sexton has worn his state championship ring in here.
Yes.
Liberty Patriots won state in their first year of existence last year, 3-8 state championship, and Reed Blacklock was the individual state champion. Before we jump in there, let me go through the football schedule one more time. Thursday night, Bel Air at Monterey, 5A Division I by-district playoff game that kicks off at 6 p.m. at Lowry Field. That's on 93.7 The Eagle. Lubbock Cooper Pirates are on the road in 5A Division II at Canutillo, 7 p.m. That's on 100.7 The Score. Idalou and Tulia are at Liberty, a stadium these guys know well, 5:30 p.m. Sunday 97.7 FM. Friday night, Friendships at home in a 6A Division II by-district playoff game against El Paso Montwood on Double T 97.3 FM. And Estacado is on the road against Fort Stockton, neutral site game at the Mustang Bull and Andrews. That's not on our air, but that's Nick Long on the call on that one. Still a busy football season. You guys, school's football season ended in heartache. I asked you about Joe not coming in. I'll tease him. He may be listening here. He's got to come in and talk eventually. So 2 overtime losses, and just the last one's just a gut punch. Missed the playoffs because of the overtime loss.
Yeah, I watched that game on the Facebook, and early in the game I thought they had it. Westbrook, I believe is his name. He was running all over them, and it's just that's the way sports go sometimes. You have it in the bag and then kind of slips through. But Coach Sexton, there's no doubt that he's going to figure something out, and I probably wouldn't want to play him next year.
No, they're going to have a lot of every sport at Liberty has everybody back who wants to be back. So.
Yes. And it didn't help. They Colton Burchard, their quarterback, got hurt.
I was going to say.
Cy Leach did a really good job for him coming in, but you lose your starting quarterback. That's hard for anybody.
Starting quarterback who's a state champion golfer.
Yes, that's right. He finished really well. He did exactly what he needed to do, and it was awesome. He's an all-around athlete. So.
And I asked Joe this because Joe's still pretty vested in the golf program.
Oh yeah.
That shoulder injury. Now Colton's a basketball kid too.
Yes,
I believe so. Yes,
as long as he comes back healthy. But that golf swing is not going to be affected by the collarbone.
I think an athlete, especially at that age, they're pretty resilient, and I bet he's back probably before the doctors say he can be back. And like I said, he's an athlete and he's young. I wouldn't put anything past him to have a really good basketball season also, but I think he'll be okay.
Cord, I'm older than you, but you're still a fairly young man. It's good to be young.
Yes, absolutely, it's good to be young.
They do bounce back a little bit quicker than guys like you and I can. I'm sitting over here achy because I drove to the Lubbock Cooper volleyball getting back last night. So, and I've got to think I'm mentally preparing myself for that drive to El Paso tomorrow.
Oh wow, you're all over the place.
Yeah, it's.
We made that drive to El Paso not too long ago, and it was. It's. I always like it. What do you think about it, Reed?
I've heard a lot of different stuff about El Paso, and then when Coach, I asked him, I was like, what are your thoughts on El Paso? And he's like, I love it. I love everything about it. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go in here with a good mindset. Oh my gosh, I loved it. Good golf courses. And the golf course we played was nice. And he said there's even nicer golf courses around. So, there's, we ate some good food, which, we always do anyways. That's almost like a priority for our golf team. But,
That's something when you get older, too. It's a priority anyway. So
it's definitely a priority for us, and especially Reed. Reed is good at everything, I believe, and he's good at picking out spots to eat and playing golf. And I think anything Reed wants to do well, he's going to do it well.
Not to diminish that, but he probably gets some good advice from mom, dad, and big sister because they've all been around a little bit.
Yes, they have. Yes. And when I first started at Cooper, I remember his sister being there as well. Great basketball player.
So the trip to El Paso, was that for the Nota Begay tournament?
That was for a match play for our school. And I recently went to the Nota Begay tournament a couple of days ago. And
I want you to talk about that. Explain what that is and how competitive that was.
Yes. So I played in this twice. I almost qualified 2 years ago. I lost it by I believe 1 or 2 strokes, and then so you know what, I'm gonna go back and try it again. And I played really well the second. You know, I had a solid first day, even par, and then I ended up 68 the second day to seal it, and so that was good. It was a pretty good field, and no, it was good. So I qualified for that, and then I go to Louisiana, and I qualified that, and that's on the Golf Channel, so which is pretty cool. And I think that'll be broadcasted like in the middle of December sometime. And
Where in Louisiana?
Louisiana, Kinder. So it's kind of north of Lake Charles.
Yes, there's the big Indian reservation in Louisiana. You were very close to that. I spent 14 years there, and Louisiana's a little bit smaller than Texas. You get to learn all the little crevices and crooks.
Incredibly humid. There.
Yes.
And I didn't think it was going to be that hot until, like, because you know what, it's November, and then I go down there, like, yeah, it feels like, Houston.
Yep, you don't ever get rid of the humidity in Louisiana. Nota Begay event was in New Mexico?
The qualifier, yes.
Okay, because Nota Begay, for those who don't know, was a golfer at Stanford with Tiger Woods, and I believe he's from Albuquerque?
Yes. He's from Albuquerque. My brother actually played against him in the state tournament a long time ago, but yeah, he's a really good golfer from Albuquerque. Yeah, one of Tiger's best friends.
Does he have a Navajo background?
He does. I don't know that to what extent, but yes, he does.
Because that's a very interesting part of New Mexico that I think a lot of people aren't familiar with. I actually lived in Farmington, and there's a huge Navajo Indian reservation out there that takes your breath away. The scenery, there's golf courses out there that I would imagine you would enjoy playing too. So we'll talk more about Reed Blacklock, Lubbock Cooper Liberty golf team, and now first-year coach at Liberty, but not first-year coach. We're going to talk a little bit about where Cord's been and what he's accomplished too when we come back. No Liberty football this weekend. Their season is over. They look forward to 2025, but there is football tomorrow and Friday in and around Lubbock. We'll go back through the radio schedule one more time since this is the last week. And another reminder, no high school fan zone next Monday with the Cowboys and Texas Tech both playing. So we'll be back after the break on the Patriot Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Bringing you the latest news from Liberty Athletics. This is the Patriot Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back to the Patriot Fan Zone. We were just talking about a few weeks ago when Joe Sexton and I tried to end the show a little bit early. We're going to make sure we don't do that. We've got a producer in there who will make sure that we don't do that, I hope. We have a state champion golfer, Reed Blacklock, sitting next to me, the coach who inherited the program, which that's living right, Cord, when you can step in and take over. I don't
know if it's living right or just being a glutton for punishment, because I followed Joe now twice, and it's kind of hard following Coach Sexton. He's basically, it's kind of like Reed. Anything he does, he's going to do well. And so it's, you really have to work hard to continue in what he's done and what he's started.
He will understand this when he hears it. You'll need to ask him about if he passed on any coaching shorts to you.
Any coaching shorts?
Yep. I'll leave it.
All right. I'll ask him.
So I got you to run through your resume a little bit off the air. You've been around Lubbock for a lot longer. It's first year at Liberty, but you've been in Lubbock for a while. Give me the rundown.
Yeah. I started actually in a little town, Spur Bulldogs, for 1 year, and then I got a good break and was assistant girls basketball at Coronado under Charlene Hughes. A lot of people know her as Charlene Lilly. Yep. And I was telling you, I've been around some really good coaches, Coach Hughes, and then I helped with softball with Coach Johnson, JJ Johnson, and everybody knows that guy's.
Everybody knows JJ.
Everybody knows JJ, and I was lucky enough to be around him a little bit, and then kind of broke my gums in over at Monterey, being a head coach for the golf team there, taking over Tui, and Tui did a great job.
Ranking everybody.
And so everywhere I've been, I've kind of had to, step in and try to continue what they've done. Was at Monterey for 8 years, and then Coach Sexton asked me to go to Lubbock Cooper, and was there for 4 years, and now I'm at Liberty.
We met a few years. The first time we met was that's your best team at Lubbock Cooper. You had a young man named Azell.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about his sister, and you had a couple of guys, and you guys made a nice run there at the end.
We did. We won the regional tournament and got to state and made a really good run. I think while we were there, we got first, second, and third in the region, and then last year Kyler qualified individually to go to state. So we did. We had some good runs and just good competition, and they continued to work hard. And Kyler, I don't know this for a fact, but I think as long as I was there, Kyler was the only freshman, the only player to come in as a freshman and play in nothing but our top team tournaments from freshman all the way till now. So really good player, and still talk to Kyler a lot.
You're probably going to have that for another year or two at Liberty. And Joe coaching them had how many freshmen? You were one of the old men, but
we had on our first five. We had, I think, 3 freshmen. Yeah, we had 3 freshmen and then 2 sophomores.
And I mentioned we've talked about Colton Bouchard. I didn't realize until I looked at this he was the second highest finisher of the state tournament for you guys.
Yes,
finished 7th.
Yes, he was. He ended up our second best for our school, and that's. Again, I mean that it's crazy that like you said earlier, football, basketball, he could even play tennis if he wanted to, and still finish runner up in the second team. I just have nothing but respect for him. I mean he's a good kid, does a lot of stuff. I mean he's great. He's a solid golfer too, man. So.
We'll go back in your past a little bit. You played on a golf team at Trinity Christian.
Yes.
And had a little bit of success when you were a freshman.
Yes, it was good. At first, I really started scoring a little better about the springtime, freshman year. I won my first golf tournament, school golf tournament, in probably March. And then we went to state, and I finished 8th in the state. And so, the field is also very strong, for private school, a lot of people, will, take time off of school and go,
Yep.
A lot of, it's a completely different atmosphere than, I'm not saying UIL isn't even like that comparison, like of field wise, but I mean, the TAPS is a pretty good, like, competition.
You were around a Division I basketball player all the time now, but you were around one on that golf team as well.
Yes. Kieran. I mean, he was.
Kieran Elliott.
I still, I actually got off the phone with him earlier today. We do a little stock market little thing. We like looking at that, and I always ask him. He's at Cal Poly.
Yes.
Now he's doing really well. He had, I think, he had double digit points, and so it was good.
We're talking a lot about the history of golf in Lubbock here, the last segment.
Right.
So we're going to talk a little bit more about the future of Liberty Golf because it's the standard's set. Hi, Corey.
It is
no pressure.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about the Liberty golfers when we come back on the final segment of the Patriot Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. I'm Randy Rosetta, and we'll be back after the break.
Bringing you the latest news from Liberty Athletics. This is the Patriot Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back to the final segment, right? Final segment. Good deal. Of the Patriot Fan Zone on a Wednesday night. We branched off into some New Mexico history there we're not going to bring up on the air because I don't know if Butch Henderson listens, but Butch Henderson had some great stories of growing up in Artesia with some very different individuals. Dwight Butler, Mike Levy, Buster Leaf, and then there's Butch, who's one of my favorite people in the world. If you can't get along with Butch Henderson, that's a you problem. So
yeah, that's a lot of history there. But
was Butch at Coronado when you were there, or had he?
No, he was at Coronado when I was there. Yep.
Can you still hear the whistle in your head once in a while?
All day long.
Yeah, exactly. So, Reed, you get to Liberty last year. We talked at one point last year. Everything's so new. I mentioned to a couple of your classmate, young ladies on the basketball team today, the difference now when you walk in. When I walked in last year, all of you looked like freshmen and sophomores. You were just a little bit deer in the headlights. You weren't sure what to expect. The schools knew.
Right.
Y'all look a little bit more like high school kids now.
Yes.
You look a little bit more comfortable in your skin.
Absolutely.
But you get there as a sophomore. You come over from Trinity. Everything's new. But then you guys go out on the golf course and you just start winning and you start having this success. What was the key last year for you guys to be that good that fast?
Yeah, I mean, I knew a lot of my friends that were golfers, and I heard, you know, Jackson Blue. I've known him for so long. He was also a part of the Trinity golf team, and so I played golf with him for so long. And he was like, I told him, you know, I was going to Liberty. He's like, and then I think a month later, he was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go to Liberty too. I'm like, dude, that would help our golf team. And then I played, you know, Colbar. He's another solid golfer. He's playing really well right now too. And I heard that he was coming. I was like, oh my gosh. And then Jackson Tyler, and then so like just all of them. I was like, dude, I've played golf with these people, like, you know, and they're solid. And so I mean, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be a solid golf team. I knew we were gonna have a little bit of confidence, and so we started off great. And yeah.
We'll go back a little bit further because if I heard a story correctly, you guys played during COVID.
Yes,
when you couldn't do a whole lot. You guys spent a lot of time out there.
36 holes a day.
36 holes a day.
I think that helped. I think that helped our golf game a lot. And yeah, that was literally COVID was. Man, I would go back to it honestly. I mean, a lot of people would say otherwise, but I mean, the golf wise, it was perfect because I mean, you know, I'd be bored and then like I can go to the golf course.
Cord, that's a little bit of throwback there when you get friends and go out and do stuff outside together.
You know, that's when I was talking to Reed and asking him when he started and how long he's been playing. That's kind of what I grew up with in a small town. The only thing there was to do was really play golf in the summer. And so when I heard his story about playing with those guys and being around each other, just playing 36 holes a day, every day, I knew why they were so good because and it's fun watching them. We played a little deal yesterday, and it was fun watching them talk about putts and watching them read each other's putts. On number 8, I think Reed told Cole to hurry up, but him and JB were reading a putt. But it's just fun watching that, and the chemistry is really good watching them talk golf with each other on the course.
You hear about gym rats, and I'm going to assume Big Sister was a gym rat.
Yes.
She told me that you challenged her a few times, and she had to put you in your place.
Yes, I'd take my medicine. Probably after a couple games, you know, I'd still, you know, I still have to try to get in her head, and trust me, I still can. But I mean,
someday
it's
soon
a lot
we'll
harder.
talk about Kid Brother, who apparently is bigger than all of you guys.
Yes, that just sprouted out of nowhere. Honestly, I sound like a parent saying that, but I mean, he's taller than me now, and I can't tell people that anymore.
No.
Well, one quick thing, Reed, if we have time, I've heard this story, but I think a lot of people would like to know. Tell Randy the story about your 18th hole last year. Just kind of walking down the fairway, and then and what it took for you to win state.
Well, honestly, so it kind of helped. On 18, the day before, I felt that, you know, just adrenaline, like it was crazy. Like there's so many people watching, and so, you know, I hit a 9-iron. And it was like 160, so it was already, you know, I was going to play longer. And so I just completely flew the green. I was like, whoa, what? And then Coach, you know, was like, you know,
Coach Hicks.
Yeah, Coach Hicks. She was like, you know, that's just the adrenaline. And so I go the next day, and I mean, I'm up 1 with the last hole to play, and I mean, there's probably double the amount of people there. And I mean, I'm 184, and I hit 9-iron. I was like, okay, I'm gonna hit 9-iron this time because you know what happened yesterday. And then just, I mean, a little longer, and then I two-putted, so it was good. It was good. It was so fun.
Finished as the individual state champion and helped the Liberty Patriots win the state championship. We'll be back next week on Tuesday on the High School Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. This is Randy Rosetta. We'll talk to you next week.